Women and girls are underrepresented in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, education, and careers. One prevalent explanation for women's underrepresentation in STEM is the gender gap in math performance favoring males, particularly spatial skills. Research suggests that gender gaps in math performance emerge in middle school or high school. However, meta-analyses indicate this gap has disappeared. Given the evidence from meta-analyses, an ability explanation for women's underrepresentation in STEM is less plausible. Many other explanations, including broad contextual factors, societal expectations, parental and peer influence, and climate within STEM majors and organizations, and women's motivations, math ability, self-assessment, and choices are well supported. From a sociocultural perspective, research has documented how environments dominated by males can be threatening to women and girls, and can be illicit stereotype threat, which can lower their sense of belonging, increase feelings of exclusion and isolation, and lead to disengagement from the domain. Stereotype threat is the phenomenon in which members of a stereotyped group worry that their performance on an evaluative task will be judged according to a negative group stereotype, indicating inferiority in the domain. The stereotype relevant to STEM education is that women and girls are not as competent in math as men and boys. Thus, when women and girls take math tests, they may worry that their performance will be judged according to this stereotype, and they may fear confirming the stereotype if they perform poorly. This threat can lead to negative outcomes such as poor test performance and disengagement from the domain. Arguably, the most widely studied academic performance outcome for women in the stereotype threat literature is math test performance. Other, less frequently studied outcomes include more negative attitudes toward the domain and lower intentions to pursue education and careers in the domain. For example, it was found that women taking a math test had poorer performance when they were told the test was diagnostic of math ability than when they were told the test was not diagnostic. In a diagnostic testing situation, women performed poorly because they feared confirming the stereotype that women are not as good at math as men. When women were told that no gender differences have been found on a math test, the women performed better than when no such information was given. Thus, stereotype threat is one factor in women's underperformance in math. If women are worried about validating gender stereotypes regarding women's math ability, this additional cognitive burden may lead to lower performance, feeling a lack of belonging in the field of mathematics, and leaving the domain. As shown by these results, one important variable examined in stereotype threat research is gender identity, or the centrality and importance a person places on gender as part of one's larger self-concept. Research on gender identity among adults has shown that women who strongly identify with their gender are more vulnerable to the negative effects of stereotype threat, presumably because they care more about confirming stereotypes that reflect poorly on their gender group. Performance pressure, not wanting to make the group look bad, or group-level stereotype threat leads to underperformance for women who are highly gender-identified. However, a recent study showed that because stereotype threat is triggered within educational contexts, it can be reduced through interventions to promote mathematics and science education, thus improving the educational pipeline leading to good careers in STEM. Educators, parents, practitioners, and policymakers can learn more about stereotype threat through many publicly accessible resources and partner with social scientists to carry out these interventions on a large scale.